Welcome back, folks. Sheepdog Smokey here, and something that has been a recurring topic on social media and really just everywhere has been Bill Gates' screamed demand that the country not reopen until 100% of the people are forced to take a microchip implant in their body to have a digital certificate. Now, there are those people who say this is the mark of the beast. I will agree with what my parents said, that if people are going to be held down and forced to take it, that is not the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast in Revelation is a mark on the back of the right hand, on the forehead, that is required to buy and sell. Now, it might be in the form of an RFID microchip implant, which will become your debit card, credit card, everything. But it is voluntary to the point of you take it or you die, either by being shut out of society until you starve or get shot trying to buy, or murdered right then and there when you say no. I will, however, say that I will not accept a college dropout ruling on what the country may or may not do when it comes to medicine. Bill Gates created an operating system. From then, he hired people to maintain it and upgrade it. Much like Steve Jobs and the others involved with creating Apple. Very much entrepreneurs and visionaries when it came to computers, but before long, they become businessmen running a business empire. Someone else is doing the creating and the innovating. Someone else is doing the upgrading and the programming. Bill Gates has likely not been involved, other than on the business side, in 20 years. I find it also very odd that Bill Gates does not allow his children to have smartphones and the like. I will admit that growing up without all of the technology, my childhood was vastly different than my nephew's or my niece. You see, kids don't really go outside and play near as much as they used to. I can remember I would get home from school 3:30ish, sometimes 4 in high school. So you still had a lot of daylight. And when I was very young, I would get home, my bag get tossed into my room, and I'm out on my bike, riding or out in the backyard playing or with my friends playing out at the playground, whatever. Sometimes until just before dark, because I knew if I wasn't home by dark, I was in trouble. I would build things. There was a point where we had done some masonry to our home, or were going to, I forget if this was before or after. But we had a bunch of bricks, and we had a porch that was about 3.5, 4 feet off of the ground. So, right about there. So, I stacked the bricks into the form of a chair. This took hours to get it right because I'd have to move things around. And then I had a chair. Or I would, find old wood and build stuff. I'd go play with my BB gun and, try and see how good I was as a shot or whatever. I'd just be outside. Now, when you have kids who get home, they're on an iPhone, an iPad, Android phone, or tablet, or whatever. Yesterday, I switched back to this. It is basic flip phone. It will not get on the internet. I can't even send and receive pictures on it. It does have a camera, so I can use photo ID for callers. It will allow me to, use the camera front facing, and I can call and text. This is powered down. Has been since yesterday. I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all. I keep my receipts, and when I get back to my desk, I enter my expenditures into my checkbook register so I know how much I have left. I mean, it literally is going 25 years into the past as far as tech, or 25 years in the past as far as tech. I have no problem with that. I don't worry about it. I can set an alarm on this. I'm actually going to probably end up just going and buying an alarm clock so that I'm able to just leave the phone on the desk. I'm not going to give up and, like, as in sell the iPhone or iPad, because I do use them for my job. There are times when I do want a very good camera, like if we're going out somewhere like to the lake or whatnot. I'll carry the iPhone and use it as a camera. That's it. And the only thing I'll tell you that I miss about it is navigation when driving. And I can have Toyota put that into my truck on its own as far as their little app. Unless I go back and buy a 30-year-old car or older, there's no way to get rid of all the computers and stuff. So that I can't avoid. At least not until I win the lottery and buy my 69 Charger. But to have someone tell you that you must accept their decree that you will accept a chip that is going to be used to track you, I will not comply. Period. It may result in my death by cop, but I will live free, fighting on my feet and dying on my feet before I bow and live on my knees under a tyrant. Bill Gates is someone that no one should listen to other than when it comes to how to be rich by creating an operating system after you drop out of college. But for some reason, the world has decided that college dropout Gates is the expert on the economy and medicine and so many other things. And I disagree. I will not allow a chip into my body. Period. That may one day mean that I dig ditches or I flip burgers for a living. It may one day mean that I live as a hermit in the woods, catching my own dinner. But I will not sacrifice my beliefs and my freedom because someone has decided that a virus that was deliberately released or accidentally released, which is not as deadly as the flu, and which is being treated with a better than 90% recovery rate already, is going to be their jumping off point to controlling the world. Orwell, Huxley, Bradbury, they all warned us about this type of thing. With Bradbury, it was controlling what you have access to as far as literature, music, art, the news, and so on. And it will all be done and distributed by the government. And anyone caught getting their information from anywhere else will be punished. With Orwell, it was just brutal subjugation, such as we saw with the USSR and we're seeing now in Venezuela. Pardon me. Huxley is the one I actually think Bill is closest to, because he very much is a capitalist. He wants you buying his crap. I've not owned a piece of Windows programming in more than 15 years, and I have no desire to go back. I'm actually planning to build a Linux machine. That way I'm not Mac or Windows. And it will do very basic things, what I need it to do, and that's all I need. But he is pushing for that level of control. And it will ultimately move into forced dosages of certain drugs to pacify the people. It will be, oh, I'm sorry, you're too old, you've lived a good life. Just take this drug and you'll pass peacefully. Don't repair that shirt, buy a new one. Don't repair that TV, buy a new one. Oh, and make sure that you always have your tracker. And anyone who doesn't will be shunned by society, and they will be studied as backward, inbred hicks. It's a sad state of affairs, extremely sad. Because we have people who have been so indoctrinated for their entire life now that they honestly believe someone like Bill Gates, who is not a government official in any sense, who very much is one of the uber wealthy of the country, and who does use tax breaks and tax loopholes to pay as little as he can, although he does have a definite philanthropic side. He does help feed people and so on, but that is not a reason for him to rule the world. But he's decided that it's his destiny to rule. And there is something that he needs to be forcibly told, and that is, no, Bill, you are not the ruler of the world. You're a college dropout who created an operating system. That's it. Sadly, I don't think it will, because the Democrats and many others in government see Bill as a way to push their agenda of tracking and subjugating and controlling the people of this country into play. And quite honestly, it should see them removed from office. I honestly will not be surprised when I am told my phone is no longer compatible with any cell phone network out there, and that I am now required to carry a smartphone. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Almost 60 years ago, 57 years ago, JFK said he was, well, I don't know they said it in so many words, but he showed the world the dark underbelly of the government, and very much was a man of the people. And he was killed for it. And now the government has had almost 6 decades to solidify their power. And they're once again moving to subjugate everyone, using anyone who they can to push their agenda. It's going to get dark. But it's always darkest before the dawn. And it will be very interesting to see just how many people bow to the tyrants and how many, like myself, loudly say, I will not comply. And how many actually stick to that. Guess we'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, be civil. We're not here to scream, yell, and hurl insults. We're here to discuss, dissent, and debate. Please do so civilly. As always, please like and share the video to widen the conversation and to grow the channel. Doing the giveaway at 500, 1,000, and 1,500 subscribers, so you'll want to be subscribed so you're part of that, and turn on notifications so you're aware of all new content as it posts. As you saw yesterday and Saturday, I am getting closer to starting the history series. The way I see this going is that once I have, I'm going to say 10 to 15 videos put together, I'm going to probably release them, I'm going to say similar to a collegiate schedule, either on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, or on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That will allow me time to continue to build the backlog of videos so that if I get sick, if I go on vacation, whatever may happen, I have videos that will release during that time and a buffer after that so that I can build the backlog back up. I'm not going to put an actual time frame on it because I know the second I try and say, I'll have this done in X number of weeks, something will happen to prevent it. So it is coming and it is close, but I'm just not sure how close. But it's not much longer, pardon me, until I do start releasing those. I will probably never get rid of having videos like this where I discuss something, but I want that history series because that's what I went to school to do, is to teach history. So I'm not also a coach, so I can't get the job at the high school, so I'm going to do it here. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.